And welcome back to Inside the Show. I'm Scuffy alongside Cougs. And like we said, we're back at it for season 3. If you listened on episode 1, appreciate having you. And now we're back once again. And Cougs, we got to go with the elephant in the room right off the rip. Last episode, we thought we got bamboozled. Let's just say that. We got bamboozled. We got bombarded. Whatever you want to say that Stephen A says in that famous clip of his. That's what we got, because we thought Jeter was going to be on the, I guess, collector's edition. However, that wasn't the case. We'll get to who was on the cover, which we all know by now, but we'll get to that in a minute. But let's bring that into a situation. Jeter is not the collector's edition cover, and it was by some random user on Reddit who decided to troll a whole community. For me personally, that's a round of applause by him to get everyone, not just the community itself, but almost everyone. We had John Boy Media post about it. We had other media outlets that post about it. And it's quite funny how that exploded. And we really thought Jeter was coming.
Yeah, and it was like the image of it was like from where the picture of it was taken, it looked like pretty accurate towards what we got on like the Shohei Ohtani base version of the game. Like the cover seemed to kind of match up in terms of design style. Everybody was already predicting that Jeter would be the legend cover anyway. So it was a really, really well done fake. I gotta give that guy credit at the end of the day. You know, like it's of course it's I wouldn't say frustrating, because when we talk about the cover, I think the cover we got is actually pretty good. But I know for a lot of people, Jeter on the cover was an exciting concept. And for it to not be true, I know a lot of people were disappointed by that. But it is what it is, man.
A lot of Yankee fans were upset. Let's just say that. They were ready to see their boy, their captain on the cover, although his DD card, was up to debate whether what his DD card would look like, but still Jeter, hey, who knows? He still might be in the game, but personally, if he's not on the cover, he's not in the game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, because we talked about last week how marketable he is, but let's shift over to the cover that we did get. And that was the anime manga style Ohtani. And let me tell you, Cougs, I woke up that morning. I was like, all right, we're going to see this. What are we going to see? Are we actually going to see Jeter? Are we going to see another legend, maybe David Ortiz, since he got in the Hall of Fame? I don't know. And then they throw this. They really threw this as a curveball, because I didn't expect this. And this was absolutely fantastic. The same designers from that do Afro Samurai, made this specific cover for the MVP and Digital Deluxe, where Ohtani is donating an anime style. And Cougs, this is 10 out of 10 on me, right off the front.
It's really cool. It's probably the most unique sports game cover that I have ever seen. Like I'm thinking of some of the older MLB games, like, you know, Slugfest. They had some cool things going on the cover with the fire, with the bat and stuff like that. But this is a whole new level. This is, you know, animated. This is something that relates directly to the cover athlete, because he loves anime, loves manga, or all that stuff. It's a really, really cool idea, and I think it was executed really well.
Oh, yeah. And to go from what we got last year with Tatis, and now this year with this Ohtani cover, they've been knocking this out of the park, pun intended, whatever you want to say. But it came, when we saw this cover and we knew about the Jeter stuff, I think it all went to the side there. Like, we weren't talking about Jeter. We're just talking about how great the cover was. And that's when you know you did something very well done, and it was awesome to see. And yeah, Ohtani on being the MVP standard and the deluxe. There is no collector's edition if you missed it. They decided, I don't know what happened towards it or why it was, but there's no collector's edition. Well, there is a collector's edition, but there's no hat that you can get for the collect like we normally do at like GameStop or something like that.
Yeah, I would assume there's probably some like production shortages, you know, with how hard it is to get things like regularly right now. Just adding a whole nother production element to try to launch a game in April just probably was too much on the table for them this year. But one thing I want to say too, you know, the people that were really, really disappointed that it wasn't Jeter, and it's like, oh, why didn't we get a legend on the cover? This is, you know, not whatever. Last year was the only time we ever got like another, like a dual cover athlete thing. We had Tatis on the regular cover with Jackie on the deluxe edition or whatever. So, you know, it's not like this is unusual for MLB The Show to do only one cover athlete, but then have multiple things for the different versions. I mean, on 20, you had the standard cover with Javi, and then you had the deluxe edition where it was more of a close up of his face with him putting eye black on. I mean, it's the same thing. So, yeah, the cover was great. It made a ton of sense. I think they knocked it out of the park. I was talking to a friend of the show, Clutch. He wants to get it printed on a like either a canvas or a poster and have it framed. And speaking of that, I actually have something to show you because I haven't shown you this yet. I got this today. I need something to match this. I went to CVS. This is totally random. I went to CVS and I got a 16 by 20 canvas of this. I got a canvas of my 1 of 1 Mike Trout superfractor card, dude.
That's amazing.
It's awesome. They did such a good job. It's so clear. I know you have that one.
It beats this, my Mike Trout Live Series card. So
I know you have that one. I was there when you got that one. But I need that Ohtani cover so I can put that on a canvas and have them both back to back, side by side like that. That would look perfect in the office. I wanted to show you that because I didn't tell you about it beforehand.
That's great. So CVS could do that?
Yeah, CVS does like canvas prints, regular prints, all that stuff.
My CVS.
Really?
You got a special edition CVS. That's what you got.
Yeah, I think it looks great.
Joey, that looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm putting
now
this
you're
up.
putting ideas in my head. Like now I could probably make more of these like print out cards and stuff like that. But yeah, go back to your original point with the poster. Yeah. I mean, if anyone's listening, SDS want to make more posters, put them on. I mean, not just for us, I mean, for the whole community, we will be absolutely. Hey, if they made a poster instead of a hat, I would still be like, yo, sign me up.
Yeah. And there was a clip of somebody getting a poster or a enlarged version of the cover. I don't remember where that was or where I saw that, but I did see that somewhere.
Yeah, it was some Japanese Twitter account. They apparently had video when Ohtani actually saw the cover, like the printout, like you said. That was Ohtani looking at it.
Oh, okay, yeah,
yeah. And I don't know where that video came from. I just saw it on Twitter and I saw the screenshots as well. And I was like, yo, I'll give me all my money. I'll give you all my money.
There was something else. I think either in that same video.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
Well, yeah, I don't want to jump the gun. I'm too excited.
We will get to that. But yeah, something that we talked about last week is confirmed. And we should see it rather soon, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, we got to ease into it.
we got a whole podcast to do. But yeah, Ohtani is on the MVP Digital Deluxe. And you know, it's funny, you brought up the point how Jackie was the only one where we saw him donating the cover for those editions. I mean, in 19, they didn't even have a player on the MVP edition. And it's actually one of my favorite. I wish I had it with me. But if you look up the MLB Show 19 MVP edition, it's just basically a picture of home base and the steel cover.
I don't remember that. Let me see that one.
Let me try and look this up real quick.
I'll
show you. But it is one of my favorites because it's just the way I think it's 19. It could, yeah, it's 19.
Here, that's right. The steel book.
The steel book.
It's all the dirt in the middle of it is the plate. Yeah.
I love this cover, and it doesn't even have a player. It's just the 19 is like brooded on the home plate, and it just stands out. So I
and then with 18, because I'm looking at it now, I was curious. 18, it was like a locker.
Yes, remember that Judge's locker?
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know why people go up and array with it, but you know.
And 17 was the Griffey jersey. Yeah. See, we got spoiled last year with the Jackie thing. Everybody's assuming now that it's going to be a legend when that was the outlier. That wasn't even the rule.
Exactly. So I don't know. Actually, the Griffey one's really nice too. I forgot.
Yeah, that one was really nice.
I don't know how we rank that. We'll get to that in 1 minute because I want to go to edition details and I'll bring back the covers into play here.
Mhm.
And if you haven't seen yet or haven't done your pre-orders yet and want to know what comes into the MVP edition and digital deluxe, I'm just going to run it down real quick just so you guys have a real reminder, especially if you're listening to this and really want to know. 4 days early access. First, can confirm for it's on April 1st, April Fool's Day. Hopefully, they don't pull the ultimate trick. Although for you West Coasters, comes out the 31st, so they wouldn't do that to
Let's
us.
go.
Uh,
I get to
I,
play
I,
this game next month, Scuffy.
I legit once they confirmed the early access, put my PTO in because I usually take that week. I know I'm weird. I take a PTO a week, but I have unlimited PTO on my job, so we're good. And literally 10 minutes later, I see email got approved. I was like, that's the quickest PTO I ever seen approved, and I was very happy.
It's like
Um,
they knew.
yeah, it's like they knew every time. It's funny because it's my manager who's been my manager for multiple years, regardless what job. So he must know by that time of the year, this is where I always take that week off. But anyway, 4 days early access. And now I'm going to the MVP edition. One diamond choice pack, two gold choice packs, one player pack, 10 to show packs. It's pretty similar to the previous years. Double daily login rewards, cover athlete theme bat skin, and then 10K subs. Now for the digital deluxe, as you know, that's the more expensive one. That one goes for 100, where the MVP goes for 84.99. And remember, this has dual alignment for PS4 and PS5 as well. Now, what do you get in the digital deluxe? We get 25K stubs, cover athlete theme bat skin, double daily, same thing, one ball player pack, 20 of the show packs, doubles in that, 5 choice packs, 3 more packs of those, 1 diamond choice pack, and then the subject I want to cover me like after this is the one cover athlete diamond choice pack. Now, Coos, we did have this type of choice pack before. Was I think it was for 20 when we had either the gold Harper, the gold Griffey, and the gold Judge.
Mhm.
And now they're bringing that back for 22, but this time it's going to be a diamond. Now, I want to ask you the question, and I want to put all the players that the previous who owned MLB The Show covers, and I want to know: is there anyone that you want that's not in the game that you're hoping that is in game to be in that diamond choice pack, or would you rather take someone from recent years like a Tatis Bias, Griffey, or Judge Harper and stuff like that? I'm leaving that to open whoever you want to go with. Let me hear it.
It's a tough question because I feel like with that pack, assuming the attributes are what I would expect, I feel like my choice would probably be Tatis at the end of the day. I feel like when you combine all of those cover athletes together, Fernando early game would be sick, but I man, if okay, if they're gonna get other cover athletes
Mhm.
that they haven't gotten in before, if they're not gonna do it like 19, where it's just a few of the guys, if they really go all out and have all of the old cover athletes in this pack, I would probably, and I wasn't taking Tatis, I would say David Wright.
Ooh, okay.
I would say David Wright because I'm thinking Ryan Howard, but I'm like, there's going to be a ton of good first basemen. I'm worried that he might turn into a Prince Fielder type. I still want him in the game, but I think David Wright at third base, early game, would be a pretty sick card.
You would do that over Mauer to have a diamond catcher right from the rip.
Can't lie, I didn't think about Mauer. I'll stick with it. Yeah, I'm going David
Stick
Wright.
with it.
Just having that big, heavy right-handed bat in the middle of the lineup, perfect 3-hitter to start the year. Yeah, I'll take David Wright. But you're right, Mauer's a good pick.
Yeah, if they go with that, I'll go with the Olo covers first. I'll probably pick Mauer. I know even as a Met fan, I'll probably somehow try to get it right, but I would probably go with Mauer and just have a catcher off the rip. Now, I put this in like in just this is tinfoil. This is just out of the world. What if they just brought back when they were 989 Sports when they did the MLB game? If you guys didn't know, before SDS was took over and released MLB Show, it used to just be MLB whatever year it was, MLB 2006, 2003, 2004, and so on. And that was when they were 9-8 Sports. Eventually, 9-8 Sports got merged to the SCAA, which SES took over and made MLB The Show. Now, those, just imagine they played homage. I don't know why, to those covers. We could have got like a Eric Chavez. We could have got like a Bernie Williams, a Mo Vaughn. And then in 2003, Cougs, who owned the cover? Big Barry himself,
Oh,
Barry Bonds. But it will never happen. But
yeah.
when I was looking back, I was like, oh, well, wait a second. Barry Bonds was on the cover and it had some relationship, even though it's minimal, some relationship with SDS, but that's a whole
20 years ago.
20 years ago. So but just imagine, like, I was like, just put my tinfoil, 2023, 20-year edition from MLB 2003. Get Barry on the cover. No,
It's
it'll never
great.
happen.
I'm in, bro. I'm in.
I
If
wish.
that's what it takes, I'm in.
I wish. But going back to who I pick, I would definitely pick Mauer if they brought them back. If it's recent players, I'm with you. I'll probably get someone up the middle. I really love Bias's swing, so I'd probably be more prone to Bias. I expect, like you expect, there had to be like 88 overalls, just like we saw with the TA1 this year
Yeah.
with the 42 series. So it should be a very similar boat to that. And yeah, I'm excited they're doing that again, though. I really am. It's cool to see. Gives that extra. I mean, Digital Deluxe. I mean, for us, if you play the game all year round or just play it DD a lot, that's the version we would recommend. If you're new to the game, I wouldn't even say get even the MVP edition. If you're new to the game, just get the standard edition, and you'll work your way into getting all these cards. Get used to DD, and then if it's this game is like the least free to play. I mean, free to play to win type of game. So you'd be fine
Yeah.
where you are.
Yeah. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with all of this extra content. While at the end of the day, it's good. It gives you a nice little head start, but like you don't need it. Like you will be fine if you just get the standard edition. So yeah. The only thing though is that you don't get early access. If you really
Yeah.
want to play the game like as it comes out, but you don't want to, you don't really care about all the extra stuff, you will only get early access if you get the MVP or digital deluxe. So just keep that in mind.
Yep. And if you're on Xbox and you're a new player looking to play, just don't get. Just wait till Tuesday. Get it for free.
Yeah, on Game Pass. Yep.
On Game Pass. Yeah, if you have Game Pass, that is. Anyway, one thing they didn't do, and I actually I want to give them praise for. Usually when I think it was for when MLB Show 20 was coming out, if you pre-ordered, you got a free Finest Javi Bias, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
But this year they went the same route, but they made it free, where you don't need a pre-order game, and they gave us Finest hitting Ohtani in the shop for free until forever, pretty
Yeah, I
much.
don't think
So
he goes away. Yeah.
I don't think so too. So I haven't got to play with him because I've been on my BR feed and I haven't seen him in any of my drafts. I do want to make a point with that Atani and BR, but I want to ask you first because knowing you, you probably played once that dropped and got the feel of Atani. And I'm curious on your first opinion on that finest Atani this year.
I mean, hitting wise, he's about exactly the same as the other 99. The weird thing is that you can't so obviously he's got starting pitcher and relief pitcher as secondary positions on the card, which is one of the really unique things about Otani. But on a card that's a primary right fielder, you can't toggle to see the pitching stats. I think you can only see them when you actually have him on the mound in the game. And so I'm not 100% sure how they compare to the other one. Um, but the thing I like about this Otani, or the thing that is more unique, is obviously you get his hitting, but if you do want to use him as a pitcher, all you have to do is you have to put him on the bench. And then when the pitcher spot comes up, you pinch hit with this Otani, and then you just don't take him out when the next inning rolls around. Now, he's got the same pitch mix as the other card. I think the hits per nine are pretty similar. All that type of stuff is similar. The thing is, though, I don't know exactly what happens to his energy. I don't know if his energy ever resets. I don't know if he's always green energy when you bring him off the bench like that, if the game recognizes that. Um, so I'm curious how they're gonna do Ohtani next year, if they're going to have him as the same primary position pitcher. Are they going to change the system now that we have a guy like this, and then possibly, opening the door to more dudes that play a similar style to him toward like down the line? Like it opens up a lot of possibilities with a card like this. But at the end of the day, just off how I played, it's Ohtani. I'm not that great with Ohtani in the game, but he's my favorite card to use just because of how unique he is.
Oh, without doubt. And that's what you were going over. That's why I want to bring up for BR with this Ohtani. This is legit the best BR player that you could get ever, if you think of it. Just by what you could do. And I think his stamina probably resets.
Yep. You could legitimately
So
use this guy every game if you want to, I think.
in BR, you have a 99 diamond pitcher, you have a 99 diamond hitter. Now, do note if you're away, you're probably, it's not gonna work out that well for you. But if you're home, it'll work out for you
Got it easy.
because yeah. So you gotta make that gamble, but still have that opportunity. That's what I'm gonna do though. Once I get him, I'm gonna make sure I use him and see what happens and see how it goes with him in BR, see how many times I can use him per game and go from there. But yeah, the best BR player we ever have, without a doubt. Just
Bold
because of
claim.
yep. So I mean, we'll see what happens next year, but right now he's the best one. Anyway, we got the finals of Tani. We don't have the addition details. I don't think we missed anything else before we move on. Just double checking. No, we're all good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
So let's move on. Now we got the cover, right? We all got the cover. SES been posting pretty much almost daily. Hey, Tany's on the cover, pre-order the game here, show.com. Now, when do we expect to hear news next, Coos? When do we get that, either that stream schedule that everyone wants or a little tease of gameplay? Well, I kind of did some digging today. I did a little digging. I was a little bored.
Detective Scuffy.
Yes, Detective Scuffy on the case, right? So I looked when we got news from last year, after the Tatis cover dropped. Now, why did I use last year for a reference? That's because they're pretty much doing the same type of format. We're getting features, which they already indicated. So I just want to see what happened last year and see how it segues into when we might get news this year. Now, last year, the first thing that we got after the cover was a little gameplay video to play with your style. The first appearance between the infamous coach and Tatis together of multiple videos to come. And that happened on February 10th. Today is February 7th. You'll probably listen to this tomorrow on Tuesday, which is February 8th. So that means we're close. We are close to getting more news, I believe, whether it's this week or early next week. And the order, and we were trying to figure this out, Coos, before the podcast, where after that, they started dropping about a minute to 3 minute videos of different type of things that are coming to MLB Show 21, and they dropped on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And
That's
I
right.
remember we were discussing before. I remember there was one day that we didn't get a video, and we were spending even the whole community is like, "Where's Coach?" And they made
Yeah.
him as a missing person. It was great, just by us wanting more news. But just a reminder, we're close, and the first feature that we didn't get, the first feature that we did get last year was dropped on March 11th. So we might be a little bit ways away for our first feature video, but there should be some type of news coming out.
Well, I hope that they go Tuesdays and Thursdays again, man. I guess if you're listening to this, I hope today we get something. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with waiting a little bit for the features. I mean, the game's release date is not going to shift or move. It's coming out on the 5th or it's coming out on the 1st, whatever. So, I mean, we can try to like figure out like when we can expect news and stuff. But at the end of the day, I just want to have that schedule so I know like when, to plan things out, when I'm supposed to set days free, because I'm really excited for this year's game. I really think they could do some really cool things, and I'm ready to start hearing things, man. MLB The Show 21. We've played it a while. It's run its course. We're in that season. We want new stuff. We want this information. Feed it to me, SDS. Give it to me now. Tired
Yeah,
of waiting.
That's how it feels. I mean, I feel like we're playing the waiting game now. Although I gotta give it to you, it is February 7th, and it comes out less than two months, which I don't know about you, but it kind of already feels like it's going quicker than last year for me. I don't know why that is.
Well,
Maybe it's
I think the difference is last year we didn't have this prior, experience
expectation.
of getting the cover
Yeah,
athlete in February as opposed to November, December, whenever. We used to get the cover athlete a lot earlier. So the fact that we were in a pandemic year and
yeah.
then we had, the very, very delayed announcement of the cover and everything, I think everything kind of just molded into a very heavy waiting game. That plus the fact the game came out mid-April last year, not the beginning of April or March like previous years. There were a lot of factors that went into the long wait of 21 dropping. We played MLB 20 for 13 months.
Jeez. Yeah, that I don't that feels ages ago, but you're
Yep.
correct, because we got the cover. I actually don't mind it now if this is the way they do it now. I kinda like them doing it on I think they'll probably continue doing it on January 31st because
Yeah.
that's, Jackie Robinson's birthday, and they now, shout out to SES to continuing doing, the $1 to the foundation, if you order MVP edition or digital deluxe, so I could see January 31st being like, "Okay, we're gonna announce a cover each day," unless it's on, like, a weekend or something like that.
Mhm.
So I can see that. I forgot to go over this though. So the order that we got that tease video that I mentioned, and then we got a tech test. I'm not sure if we're getting a tech test for 22, but if we're going to get a tech test, they're going to announce it, I assume, quick because they announced it on February 11th last year, and hey, that's 4 days from now, and remember, the game drops a little bit later, so if we get a tech test, I expect to hear an announcement maybe either this week or next as well, so be on the lookout for that, which,
Yeah.
hey, any way to play MLB Show 22 a little early, I know it's like the alpha or beta, whatever you wanna call it, even though we can't talk about it, but still, that would just get the
Yeah,
days
no,
rolling quicker.
and the thing is that if we're gonna get a tech test, it's gonna happen soon because they need to get that data so they can implement all their stuff so they can make tweaks they need to make before the game launches. So if we're getting a tech test, I would expect at the very least an announcement at the end of this week. At I don't know if I'm gonna say the absolute latest, but they need to get that data. So if we're gonna get a tech test, I would expect that soon. I don't, and I feel like the tech test in previous years has been a good thing. It gets people, a chance to play the game. It gets people, a good opportunity to give feedback. So I hope they do it.
Yeah. It's always fun, and for me, last year was great because I got addicted to pinball.
Yeah,
That's
early. You were
that's
ready.
I was ready day one. I was like, "Yo, I'm getting this down, make sure I'll be able to do this," and I was on that's all I did. Even because you were able to do it, like, after the tech test, you could just roll
That's right.
into
That's right. You
practice
could do
mode
like custom practice. Yeah.
and then,
And
get used to it.
I remember during the tech test last year, I had Kyle and Adam hanging out at my apartment for a few days, and we were gonna go like get some lunch. We were gonna go to the beach. We were just gonna hang out and do nothing. And then I think Adam started up the tech test on the PS5, and we were playing that for like 2 or 3 hours. We were just having so much fun figuring out pinpoint. It was great.
Yeah, and now, I think it'll also be great, especially since we're getting a new user base as well with the Nintendo Switch. I know a lot of users that have Xbox, PS5, they may have Switch as well, but still, did you hear how many speaking of Switch, like, first off, over the last year, I think it sold over 100 million consoles or something like that in
The
Japan?
Switch.
Yeah. I forgot what so I wish I had this prepared.
I
Forgive me
think
on this.
Dimu might have tweeted it.
Um, but yeah, let's just say there was a lot of, um, Switch consoles that were bought last year, and it's only going to increase this game even more with the user base. It's gonna make it's very exciting. It's very exciting to look towards this. I'm so looking in a day where I'm just watching my Met game and, grinding away, whether that's just moments or whether this mini season mode is or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm ready. So,
I found the tweet, by the way,
oh,
from BR Gaming. The Nintendo Switch has sold 103 plus million units and counting, officially beating the Nintendo's Wii 101 plus million units sold for the number one spot. So it's Nintendo's best selling console ever.
that's crazy. That's great. So, I mean, I've been playing Pokemon recently. I've been just
I need
gonna
to
say,
get new I need to get new Joy-Cons. I got Joy-Con drift.
oh, really?
Yeah, I need to get
Oh
that.
man,
Plus I need to get another dock so I could have it set up in the office so that way I can stream it.
there we go.
Too much to do, man.
And there's always a lot too much to do, but but yeah, that's a pretty much a broad overview or expectation of what we have when to expect news next. I'm sure we'll be talking about much more on next week's episode. Speaking of next week and this week and the following week after that, we kind of want to do a segment because we all love these moments. We always love when the new game starts to come out and we start predicting things, whether that's features, whether that's new legends, and that's what we're going to get to today is actually the new legends. I wanted to bring this to the table where we start, give you a little bit more segments. So we thought of doing one division from each league, AL and NL, and then we're going to give one legend we want from each team. We did this before the podcast together, but we didn't tell who we picked. So this, if we picked the same legend, just fair warning, we did do this at the same time. We didn't discuss who we thought, and I thought this was a great way for us to, just talk about new legends that we want. Who wouldn't want to talk about new legends that we want in this game? There's about over 200 plus. I'm sure we won one in this game. I'm telling you, before we get to this, Goose, the BR player in me, I want more mid tier to low tier legends just because of that. Like, give me my Stevie back. Oh man,
Yeah.
I want my Stevie Pierce back. There's many other cards. Mark Reynolds, I love back now. Anyway, let's start this segment. So this is one legend from NL East teams and AL East teams. You pick which league we go with first.
So the cover athletes and AL boy. Let's go with the American League. Let's go
Okay.
with the let's
Let's go.
start with the
You can
AL
start out.
East.
You start out because your team you root for is in AL. So
Okay. So let's go with the Orioles first. Just start off easy. I think the legend that I would most want to see from the Orioles in 22. I'm gonna go Mike Mussina.
all right. So we're 1-1, getting the same thing so far. But it makes most sense because what is the meta right now? And I believe he had a nasty color alongside his knuckle curve.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, even that, it's like you look at, he can get a signature, he can get a prime, he can get a single season card. 7 out of 9 seasons, he finished in his time with actually 7 out of 10. Sorry. 7 out of 10 seasons with Baltimore, he finished top 6 in the Cy Young voting or higher. So, I mean, like this dude for a long period of time, basically all the way through the 90s, was just a stud in that Orioles rotation. And, I want to see more 90s and 2000s legends. And the funny thing is, I have more knowledge of Mike Mussina as a Yankee than I do as an Oriole because I didn't really start watching baseball until like around 2004. So I don't really even have any memories of him pitching with the Orioles, but just off his career stats, he was definitely, I think, better as an Oriole. And, he could work as a Yankee if we're going AL East, but Mike Mussina would be a really good addition for sure.
Oh yeah. And he's a Hall of Famer. I mean, pretty much what else you had to say. And speaking of the Hall of Fame, I was trying to figure out like what new series cards they could do. How about like a Hall of Fame series type of card?
So let me okay, if we're
They're
doing that,
basically a
what would
signature
that
series.
entail?
It's just basically a signature series card just rebranded. If you think of it, just give a little different flair card art. That's all I'm
Okay.
thinking about
So
because it's
so
just another
no
end game
no
type of
current
card.
players could have obviously a Hall of Fame card. Do they still
Yes.
get a signature? Could we still get like, if Kyle Seager was
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah,
playing,
yeah, yeah,
could
yeah,
we
yeah.
still get
They'll
a
get a
signature?
signature. Yeah, yeah. I'm just
Okay.
saying, we all love to see different type of card art and different
Yeah.
types of
Yeah, yeah,
series.
yeah.
Like we saw with the milestone. Milestone did great with that, and now I'm predicting later it's going to be like some type of Hall of Fame series. I don't know.
I'm
I could be
down.
wrong.
I'm
I'm just
down.
all right. I assume we're flip flopping, so I'll
Yep.
do Blue Jays.
Whatever you want. AL East.
All right, Blue Jays, I got Carlos Delgado, first baseman.
I was thinking of putting him. He wasn't exactly who I put it though. I was thinking of him though.
Yeah, I just, I mean, it's kind of Mets bias too. Being a Met fan, I always love Carlos Delgado, but I loved his swing, man. I remember playing the MVP baseball 5 days, and he was always has to be on my team. He'll have that nice, the sweet lefty swing of his. He'll have high power numbers as well. I thought he should have had a little bit more room to get into the Hall of Fame, but didn't happen for him. But still, Carlos Delgado would love in MLB Show 22.
Nice. Don't hate that pick at all. I like it. For the Jays, so this is a weird one because this guy will fit for both divisions. For the Jays, I'm going Roy Halladay. I was thinking about putting him as my Phillies pick, but I have some other Phillies that I feel like I could throw in there. Roy Halladay for the Jays, got to be mine. I mean, I don't even need to explain. It's Roy
No, you
Halladay.
know.
Like everybody knows the greatness of Roy Halladay, and I've had countless people in the community tell me like, "Oh yeah, my number one legend. I want to see Roy Halladay. Like I would love to see him back in the game." So I'm going with him.
Yeah, I hands down, I would love him in the game. Little tidbit, I did pick him for my Phillies, so
Okay, okay,
I have another Phillies in mind, so I'll see what you have to say first, and then I could rebound off that.
dope,
Um,
dope.
so we'll go for that. But yeah, I mean, dude was just a monster. He there he has his own name. He's like, we know about the Maddox, right? When you get below 100 pitches in complete game shutout.
Yep.
We also have the Holiday. The Holiday is ending the game within under 2 hours and
Yeah.
getting the complete game. So when you have something like that, you just know how great a pitcher you were in that era. And he did it at the time where it was tough being a pitcher, but he made it look easy. He made it look effortless, and I always admired him.
Yeah.
Um, you want to do Rays next?
Is it my pick or your pick? I
It's
think it's
your time. I
my
just
pick.
went first.
Yeah, we can do race. Let's do race. Okay, so mine is actually a guy that was recently in MLB The Show. And I would love to see him back because he just has so much versatility. Ben Zobrist.
Yes,
Ben Zobrist. Yeah, I
that was
mean,
easy.
not even necessarily like the best card ever or anything like that, but just he's got the switch hitting. He's got the versatility all over the field. Can play basically any position other than catcher. And from what I remember, his swing was pretty good. I think he was
Oh,
in
his swing was amazing.
was it 20 or 21? I don't remember. Um, like whatever his last year was, but he was a really fun card to use. Plus, you could give him lower overall versions like that gold
The gold one was
postseason. Yeah.
amazing. Yep.
So Ben
Yeah, the
Zobrist.
gold live series was great when he was there. Overall, I mean, any switch hitter at this point in MLB Show is always turns
Yeah.
out to be really good. I went with someone who else was also in MLB Show before, and that is the other Upton brother, BJ Upton.
Ooh.
We had a 93 postseason BJ Upton when he was in 93. That was in MLB 17. I think that
Yep.
was before we went up to the 125. So that 93 could be like
It could jump up.
that could jump up. I'm trying to look at Daddy's leagues right now. I mean, it doesn't jump off the plate. Oh, this is not the one that I wanted. I was trying to look for his attributes, but
I
this
think
is
I think I have it. Hang on. Right here. BJ Upton. Yeah, 69, 65 contact, 80, 84 power, 78 fielding, 87 arm strength, 93 speed.
doesn't jump off the bat.
Doesn't jump off the bat, but once again, this is pre 125 attributes. This is when they had the 99 cap. Plus, that is a more of like he would be sick for BR with like the mid contact, high
Mhm.
power, good fielding type stuff. He would be a amazing BR card.
Yeah. So, and I would love him in the game, and then get the Upton brothers back in the game. So we get that. Let's move on to the Red Sox. Red Sox. This is kind of easy for me. 7-time Cy Younger, Roger Clemens,
Nice.
Rocket. Figured I'm not sure how he played in the game. What do you get outlier?
I don't know. I don't remember what he was hitting on the fastball.
I forget what he was. I know he hit high velocity, but I wasn't sure if it was like up to 100. I think it was up to like 97, 98 at his prime. He would have a sinker, I believe. They'll probably use that instead of his split finger, which was absolutely dirty.
Yeah.
But yeah, Roger Clemens, just I mean, when 7-time Cy Young award, you figure you
Speaks
will
for
want him.
itself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a great pick. I was gonna pick him, but I just had a feeling that was gonna be the easy pick, and I wanted to try to do something different.
Okay.
So I went with Nomar.
It's honest to God, it was between him and Nomar for
I'm
me.
glad we picked different.
I didn't want
If
to do
you would have
Manny.
said Nomar, I would have just said Clemens, just so we had something different.
I thought Manny would be the easiest choice, and I didn't wanna do Manny. So it
Yeah,
was between Roger and Nomar, and I was debating, "Oh, man, which one do I do?" But, yeah, I'm
yeah,
glad that you picked Nomar, man.
yeah. I mean, Nomar would be a sick card. Obviously, would probably either get a prime or a signature with the Red Sox. Um, he just back to back seasons with an OPS over 1,000. Some people say he was the best shortstop in the American League East in the late 90s, early 2000s, man. Some people say it. I don't know if I'm on that train or not, but um, Nomar would be a cool addition. Plus, just like a fun stance. I hope they do all the
Yeah,
things
that's what
with his batting gloves and everything. Like they gotta add that in. If they're gonna add the Soto shuffle, they gotta add the Nomar, the batting glove stuff. And
I oh, sorry to
no,
cut
no,
you
no.
off.
You go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you said it perfectly. I can't add anything on. You pretty much said everything, so continue.
Yeah, and then so that'll just lead me right into the Yankees. We talked about him earlier. Got to go Jeter.
Going Jeter, okay.
Going Jeter.
Alright.
It's
I
just
went
it's too iconic. Got to be in the
Yeah,
game.
makes sense. It makes sense. And even if he did get, like, be part of the game, we know they will boost up his attributes.
100%.
100%, yeah. And I made this type of joke. It was like, if Jeter's in the game, that tells me we're going to get some type of golden ticket in the game where someone could get a golden ticket and make Jeter's defense like the best ever.
That would be pretty fun. I'm not gonna
Just
lie.
way to troll the community or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jeter's is never a bad choice. I think. So that'd be great to have him in the game. I went with one of my personal favorite Yankees. Let me say that once again. My personal favorite Yankees. I'm a Met fan,
Does
but I'm
that does
allowed.
that give you like a sour taste?
No, because I really like the dude. There's a lot of Yankees I liked back in the day, and this one, this is the BR in me. You'll know why, and that's Bernie Williams.
I had a feeling you were gonna say Bernie.
Bernie Williams, switch hitting center fielder. He'll have multiple different type of cards, and they'll all be high contact, but with a little pop as well. It just screams a better Aaron Hicks for me. And if
Hmm.
I could get a better Aaron Hicks, probably times 5 or times 10 of him, just because his swing is so great too. He has that little crouch stance. Oh, I love number 51 in the game. So that was my pick. I know probably some Yankee fans like you said Jeter, so they're probably thinking I'm gonna say like Joey D, but I went with Bernie.
Yeah, and just so everybody's clear, by the way, if we're saying one player, that doesn't mean we don't want another player in here. We're either saving that pick for another team that player played for, or it's just our personal preference on why we want to see that guy in. So if you're saying, oh, why wouldn't you say like A-Rod for the Yankees or something like that? Feel free to leave it in the comments. We encourage you guys to say something in the comments for sure. But maybe we'll talk about A-Rod when we talk about a different division, or maybe where we just like to talk about other players. So just keep that in mind when we're naming all this stuff. But now we're moving on to the NL East. We got all the
Yeah,
AL East teams.
I'll start with my Mets
Go
because I
for it.
figured that's the way. This is hard for me. This is really hard for me. Because there's multiple Mets I want. Of course, I won't right back, but I wasn't going to include them. Um, the struggle is between the two players from 1986 team, and if you're listening and BMF, and you know exactly who I'm going to say, and that's between Doc and Daryl. Who I want, and why would I want them? And out of them two, I mean, first off, I could have named Agar Alfonso, who is one of my favorite players. Todd Hundley would never be in the game, but he'll be an ultimate BR card, switch hitting catcher, be like the Silver Posada on steroids. But I went with Doc. I mean, the numbers he put as a pitcher and what he could bring to this game with his curveball is 12-6, which is going to be like a 69-mile-an-hour curveball with his dominating fastball. I don't know how it's going to play with the meta, but just with that signature windup of his and just him being in the game, I just would love to see it. Who I would reference what he probably looked like is probably like a Bob Gibson type of card.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, won't be like the upper tier type of player. His H per nine might be really good though. That's the thing. If we're factoring H per nine just like we did this year in 21, then the stock could be really, really good.
Nice. I like it. I like the pick. Yeah, I went with I went with David Wright. I mean,
I figured since you said him for the other segment, so
yeah, I mean, it's just when I did the all-time Mets video this year, just the left side of the infield was so sad. There was no Jose Reyes, there was no David Wright, whoever you want to put there. It just didn't look right. And like, not to take away anything from Gooden, obviously, but like you can get away with Jacob DeGrom and Tom Seaver and guys like that in the rotation, but just the left side of the infield for the all-time Mets just looks so sad. It's got to be David Wright. Plus, I think he would be a sick card. Last time we had him, I believe was it 17 or
18?
18?
I think 18.
18. And I enjoyed using him. At the end of the day, 18 wasn't the best year for other cards that weren't immortals, but really fun card. And you got to get Captain America back, bro. Got to do it.
Exactly, right before next year with the WBC, then they could probably do WBC cards, but that's here for another subject here, Cougs.
That would
But yeah,
be
David Wright would be great. His gold card in 17 was one of my favorite cards to use in it just in ranked and then BR eventually.
yeah.
Had one I remember McGunsey just losing it over that gold David Wright, and he would put him even in his God squad. That's how like great that card was for him. And yeah, with his swing, with a two-handed swing of his, and now seeing how two-handed swings, for me personally, I really love. And I think I don't know what it is with two-handed swings in this game, but I just love to use them, whether it's the Patrick Wisdoms, the Tio Hernandez, the Suarez, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll fit right into this game. They did nerf him his end game card in 18, but now with
Everybody
milestones
was
30,
nerfed in
30,
18.
30, 30,
Sick milestone.
hey, that sign me up.
Yeah. All in.
Yeah. So that's Mets now Phillies.
Phillies works. So as we were saying earlier, obviously Roy Halladay would be a good pick, but I used him for the Jays. This is gonna make Shelfie happy. Ryan Howard is my pick for the Phillies. Now, I will say, I hope that if Ryan Howard comes into the game, I mentioned this earlier in the podcast, I really hope they don't give him the Prince Fielder treatment. So when Prince Fielder, a new legend into MLB The Show 21, when he finally got his 99, he got a 99 home run derby card. And I didn't think the card was that bad. I thought it was like a cool card or whatever. But they put him in the same collection that you also needed to get 99 Pete Alonso. And they, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. won All-Star Game MVP. So you got 99 Vlad. Plus, right before that, I'm pretty sure you got 99 Eddie Murray. Like, so many good first basemen came out by the time 99 Prince Fielder came out. I really hope they don't do that same thing with Ryan Howard. I feel like he could easily fall into that same trap. So if they were going to give Ryan Howard a card this year, I hope that they give him his best card very early on in the game, maybe May, maybe early June, something like that. Let me play with a good Ryan Howard. And then, if he gets phased out, he gets phased out. But at least I got some time to use him on the God Squad.
Yeah, I agree. What you said there, especially for like multiple cards like that. You like to see them early, like the Heath Bell, I guess. You could put that what we just got for a prime example, 91 milestone that could got released.
That could have got released in a collection. That could have been the Padres
Yeah.
collection. What did we get? Ryan Klesko or something?
Yeah, that exactly. That could have been the Padres collection. I didn't even think of that. So, there's multiple cards like that, and I do agree. And I Selfie posted something about Howard today, and I had to look up his silver card, his rookie silver card, and that card will be rather like a Matt Adams, Ryan O'Hearn type of silver card if you guys use them in BR. So, and if you like his swing, it'd be great. It'd be like a Chris Davis as well, his little silver card. So I will love to see Ryan Howard in the game. Now, I said Doc before. I actually have another Philly, and it's not that second baseman, which I'll never mention his name out my mouth on this freaking podcast. Okay. So that's not happening, but it is outfielder, Mets legend, Phillies legend, Bobby Abreu.
Ooh, I like it. Angels legend too.
Yeah, Angels legend as well. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. So his 2004 season, his OPS was 971. He had 30 home runs, 105 RBIs, hit over 300 at 301. What else did he do here, Cougs? He had 40 stolen bases and
Mm,
guess what? Over 120 walks.
damn.
How good could this card be? It would be like a silver slugger, which he got. It's a 99, I think, like a 98 to
Oh yeah,
99 border type of card.
yeah.
I think this would be a nice little legend to get in the MLB Show.
That's a really, really good pick. I like. I don't remember if he won, but he was in a home run derby at least once or twice, right?
Yes, he had to been.
Yeah.
He didn't do well. I think it was in Pittsburgh he didn't do well when David Wright won.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember how he did, but I know he was in at least one. Wasn't he in the one in Yankee Stadium? Hold on. Bobby Abreu home run derby. Let's see. 2005. Um Bobby Abreu sets record at the home
Oh,
run derby.
damn.
Hmm. Yeah, a then record 41 homers, including a then record 24 in the first round. So yeah, Bobby Abreu did go crazy in the derby. That's
Yeah, he
right.
did. Alright. Yeah. That'd be 125 power. Home run derby card if
Oh
we
yeah.
oh boy, they would think of that. Yeah, so there's hot oh, I almost said this. Well, I was just saying what segue. I was about to blow it. I was about to say the next name. I was gonna say Bobby Abreu, but the next name I was gonna say is my Braves legend, and that's Javi Lopez.
Nice.
We already have Andrew Jones. We already have Chipper. We already have Glavine, Maddox, Smoltz.
David
Another
Justice.
name, David Justice, exactly. Another name during those 90 Braves is Javi Lopez, the catcher. And get this season 2003 Silver Slugger. This is probably be a 99 as well. He finished in the top 5 in MVP voting that year. Hit his OPS was over 1,000. He had 43 home runs, 109 RBIs, 150 hits, and hit 328.
Sheesh.
99 catcher.
Almost to 700 slugging. That's like that's intense.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So he would be an absolute monster as well in this game. And it's another, like you said, 90s to 2000s legends that we would love to see in the game. And he just fits that mold very well.
Yeah.
That would be Braves for me.
Okay. So my Braves, it's going to be a guy that was recently in the game. He wasn't in the game this year. Dale Murphy.
Oh, okay.
Now, who did you think I was going to say?
I was going to ask you if it's another catcher.
No, 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 no.
That was
Are you talking about McCann?
yeah, I was thinking McCann.
Yeah, McCann would be cool, but Dale Murphy, there's multiple reasons I want him back in the game. Number one, I actually thought his cards played way above their attributes. He
Agreed.
always had like really good attributes against righties, and then naturally would just play a little bit better against lefties just because of the matchup. But he was one of the cards in MLB 20 that never got a good version. They just gave him his 91, and that was the only card he got. He never got that 99. So he needs redemption. He needs to get back into MLB The Show this year, and they actually need to give him a 99 by the end of the year to do him right because they did him dirty. That 91 was way too good to not get a 99 in the game. So Dale Murphy, need him back.
Yeah, I agree. I loved his swing. I actually liked that Diamond one when he had the reverse splits
Yep.
against righties because I loved reverse splits, but I still do. So yeah, I've loved him back in the game.
All
Should
right,
be a Hall
let's
of Famer too.
Yeah. Let's move to the Miami Marlins. Okay, so the Marlins, interesting. I just recorded the all-time Miami Marlins video today, and it was actually pretty good. I think the major guy that they had missing from the offense this year was Hanley, but I'm going with a pitcher, and that's going to be Dontrell.
Okay.
He, has been very vocal that he wants to be in the game,
Yeah,
and
I still understand why he's not in the game.
yeah, and even Tips, he's a Marlins fan. You'd think he'd be all over that. But and I don't think Dontrell would necessarily be like that great in the game. I think he would be more of a fun card to use, a cool windup, a cool delivery, just a little bit of swagger on the mound when he's out there. Dontrell would be a lot of fun, and it would give me a lot of nostalgia because he had my favorite windup growing up. He was just it was so much fun to emulate and imitate. He was the man. So Dontrell is my Marlins guy.
Yeah, I had him for one of my wish lists as well. He's not my pick for now, but that was definitely one of them I always had. I think once I knew he wanted to be part of the game, I kind of was like, all right, he's eventually going to be in, right? And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden he's not. But his 2005 season, by the way, he was an all-star. That's where he had 2.63 ERA and he struck out 6.5. It's still, like you said, we all try to just wind up when we were a kid. That's what we do. And
Mhm.
it would be kind of cool to see that on the virtual mound. My pick is it's BR base. Uh, Dan Uggla. Give
Oh,
me the
Mr.
power.
Forearms.
Yeah, give me the power. Even though the defense is not going to be there, especially in the
No, it
All-Star
won't.
game. But Dan Uggla, I love in the game and hit some bombs with. Yeah, put me at ship. I don't care. I'll hit a 500-foot bomb off him over the scoreboard. So that was easy for me. Just knowing that he was in the game before. I believe he had a rookie to prime too.
Well, yeah, I think he recently retired. So I mean, like he was in within the past like 3 or 4 years. I
I
don't remember
remember
which
using
one.
him. I just don't remember his attributes. He had an 84 overall. All right. He had an 84 overall card. This was in 17, so it was a silver. His power against righties was at 85. His power, remember, this is up to 99. Power against righties was 85. His power against lefties 79, and then his contact against righties 59, left 69. But still, that's with 99 attributes. He had fielding was 66, so we know what's going to happen there. But still, put that to 125, translate that rather good.
Heck yeah, dude.
For my Nationals and Expos, this is I was between three guys here. And since we're still on the subject of 90s 2000s, why not get Jason Worth back?
Okay. I like that.
I was thinking Tim Raines at first. Tim Raines was great, but I'm more thinking where we are in gameplay for 21 and what would be the better player for it. That probably speaks volumes about where we are and hope to see a little bit more balance come in 22. But still, Jason Worth, yeah, solid
Okay.
player. I mean, a Phillies legend. Um, actually, I won't say this card that I missed because I'll probably use him for next week. But yeah, Jason Worth, I will love.
I mean, I think I know the guy you're gonna say because I think it's the guy that I'm gonna say. If you're talking about a guy that we're missing, it's got to be Andre Dawson, right?
No, no, no. I was thinking for another team that Jason Worth
Oh,
reminds
oh,
me
oh!
of.
I thought you was talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
another national
Oh,
that you
I
were.
forgot Andre Dawson wasn't in this game.
Yeah, no, he wasn't in. He got taken out this year. Now, unlike Dale Murphy, he did get a 99 last year. He got
Yeah.
it was the face of the franchise signature. I don't remember. But they didn't do him right by the attributes. I feel like his attributes had to be a little bit better. So I want Andre Dawson back. I know it's not the craziest pick because it's a guy we saw literally like 2 years ago at this point. Um, but he's Dawson. He's he's the man. He's a Hall of Famer. Won Rookie of the Year. Won an MVP. 8-time All Star. Won a home run derby. They could do a different Andre Dawson by giving him a ton of power with a home run derby card. Like, dude, he was one of the best cards in the game in MLB 17. He was one of the best outfielders in the game. And then once they blew the roof off the attributes, once they blew the roof off the 99 and started letting things go to 125, I feel like they just kind of like forgot about him and they didn't really give him the attributes that he needed. So I would like to see Dawson back. You could say he could go for the Cubs too for sure, but I'm gonna go for the Nationals slash Expos.
Yeah, I mean, his best cards were with the Expos/Nationals. I mean, one year he was one of the best cards that we had.
Yep.
Um, whether that was 17 or 19, I forget. I think it was 17. And then his TA card was TA card last year was with the Nationals, right? The TA face it
Yes,
franchise.
yes. And just to be clear, when I said his home run derby card, his home run derby card would be a Cubs card. I'm just
Yeah.
saying from the Nationals, I would love to see him in the game. I don't care what his best version is,
Oh
but
yeah,
he's my pick for the Nats. Yeah.
exactly. So, but yeah, that was fun. Doing the whole NL AL East. Now, if you had to pick only one from the list that we went over, who would be your top choice out of these 10 picks that you made?
Probably it would either be between uh Jeter or Roy Halladay, I would say. I
Uh-huh.
really want to see Jeter in the game. But as far as the best card out of everybody in this list that I put together, I feel like it would be Roy Halladay.
Yeah, I'm with you. So, I'm gonna agree with that, Roy Halladay. If I went someone different, it's probably be Messina, just the way this
He'd be
the way
really,
this
he'd be
game is.
sneaky good, bro.
Yeah, I know. I feel like with Pinpoint, he's another guy that, with his control and just I don't know, something's telling me. But yeah, even over my boy Doc. But anyway, yeah, so we'll do Central next week. So we'll do NL AL Central, and then the week after we'll do with the West teams. And but that's not all that we want to leave out today. Earlier today, because I wasn't sure if we were going to fill this episode, and we're already hour over time right now. I really didn't, because we were. I mean, Coogs, let's be honest. We were kind of expecting at least maybe a stream schedule today,
Yeah,
right?
we were expecting something.
Something, and that we could base that off another segment here, but we had to figure something out. So, I put this question out for our followers on Twitter. If you're not following us on Twitter, Inside the Show PC. Once again, Inside the Show PC at Twitter. We put a question out there, and that goes along with the stream schedule. I know there's no stream feature schedule yet. However, what would be your top 3 things you are looking for before the 22 drops, the show 22 drops? And we had a various different responses to this, Kooks. We had a lot. A lot had a similar aspect, and that was franchise. And we went over that last week, how much we would love to see franchise get the update that the franchise players deserve. But I'm just looking through what pops out me, and by all means, if there's something that pops out of you as well, bring it up. And I'm just saying, I mean, a lot of things that we been talking about, whether that is, say, the savable events, we've been asking for that. Um, tune where this kind of came up to me. Tune where the rank season's difficult changes from All Star to Hall of Fame. My guess that means more towards the pitch speeds. Is that am I translating that correctly?
Wait, who tweeted that? I'm looking at the replies right
That was
now.
by Pleated Pants. What a name.
Okay. Tune where rank season's difficulty changes from All Star to Hall of Fame. That yo-yo is hard. I think he's saying what part of like ranks, like, so at 700 you start to play on Hall of Fame. I think he's saying he wants it either higher or lower.
Okay. That makes
Um,
sense with his next segment. The yo-yo is hard because you go
yeah.
down quickly
Now,
and go there.
I
Okay.
want to, I know this is a long podcast already, but I actually had an idea from one of the viewers of my stream. If you're listening, I'm sorry, I don't remember who said it. But they basically said, what if, so like, a lot of people get frustrated because once they hit 900, then they have to start playing on Legend. And that's really, really hard. Like Legend is really difficult this year. Somebody said, what if you hit 900 and then you can still play on Hall of Fame once you hit 900, but then a new mode opens up called like Rank Seasons Extreme, and that's only Legend. And then all the top players can play on Legend all the time whenever they want, but then everybody else can still make World Series without ever having to play a Legend game. Maybe on that extra mode, you would give them some extra rewards or something to give them incentive to play. But I love the idea of hitting 900 and then still never even having to touch Legend if you don't want to, while also giving the top players a mode where they can play, they can compete, and maybe that could maybe go into some sort of weekend league standing or weekend league seating.
Yeah, that's where you put the leaderboards in.
Yes,
Only on
100%.
Extreme.
Yes.
That's it. That's where you get the bragging rights. That's where you do everything. And the extra like rewards would have to be like stubs or packs. It couldn't be a particular card because
Yeah.
people be up in favor. Wow, hey, wherever that was, that I like that.
Yeah. I just
That
think
will
I
make
think it gives everybody what they want.
yeah.
Assuming the rewards are there, and if it leads into like a weekend league or seating or something like that, that would be cool too. But that, I think, not having to play Legend, still grinding out 0 to 900, and then not having to worry about matching up with the absolute goons that are playing in the other thing. Like, I think it's a good system, but that's just an idea. Not sure if there would be any exploits or there would be anything weird in there or whatnot, but yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely, I mean, that nails it for me. That gives you a true competitive mode as well with
Yep.
Rank Seasons Extreme, whatever they call it. Yeah, I mean, you don't really have to like change it in like I guess like the code structure. I mean, you do, but it shouldn't be that much. Well, I shouldn't be the one to say because I'm just thinking like as a casual looking into it, you're just basically shifting just a part of rank into a new mode. I don't know. But yeah, that's fantastic. Here's one, and this was from our boy Thuni, who asked us just silly questions. Can I, Scuffy, survive with Freddie Galvis? If you didn't know, Freddie Galvis, even though he hasn't been like the guy for me this year, but still one of my favorite players using BR. He's now going to play Japan. He asks you, speaking of legend, this is why I want to bring up next. Will Cougs be a legend warrior again? How bad are Cougs?
I don't know where he got again from. When was I ever a legend warrior? I've won my fair share of games
Hey,
on
you went
legend.
to the semis in ESL,
That
so
was on Hall of Fame.
yeah, it
That
was.
was before it was legend. So
Never mind,
no,
then.
I don't plan on being a legend warrior. We'll say that. There you go, Austin.
And number 3 is what I stopped you from talking about before. Will there be a tiny puppets, Cougs?
Yes, there will be.
Or coaching
Or no,
Ohtani?
there will be a coach puppet that Ohtani interacts with.
Yes. How excited are you?
I'm very excited, bro. I'm very excited. I need it. I
We
didn't
might
know I
be
needed it
hey,
until I had it.
this time tomorrow, we might have already seen the first one.
Please,
Who
please
knows?
give me a video tomorrow, SDS. I swear, if
Who
I
knows?
wake up at 6 a.m. and I see pre-order MLB The Show today, I might lose it, man. I might lose it.
Hey, I mean, if they do the Tuesday, Thursdays, it makes sense to do it tomorrow.
Ton of sense.
Let's look at now. This is our boy Kevin. Pause time. See, I'd ask you what he meant by that because I don't know how much that angers him with the pause time, or I assume it does, and he wants it less. You said right?
Yeah, I think Kevin wants it less. I think it's also the fact that, um, like, let's say you're playing and somebody pauses and they have 2 minutes of pause time. As the game goes on, I think they get more pause time. And, ultimately people are just spending a ton of time in the menus. And I think Kevin just kind of wants to speed this thing up. Kevin's got this Rob Manfred idea behind it. He wants this pace of play. But I do agree, all jokes aside, I do agree that I think you get a little bit too much pause time. I think especially with it being added as the game continues to go on. I get it. The situation changes. You might need to move some things around to adjust in the game and the scenario. But I don't know if you need to get as much as they're giving you.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, for me, it doesn't. I mean, either way, I'm fine with. So, but Kevin, anytime you want to call on the podcast to discuss pause time, by all means,
Come through, buddy.
we'll love to have you on. I do want to end with the franchise stuff because there was about 20 plus response, and I say 80% made up on franchise, whether it's what we just like we heard franchise more in depth, customization, stadium creator logos, stuff like that. But this question, I that screamed out to me because it kind of is putting us on the spot, and you'll see why I'm saying that. Random question. This is from Wildchild 911105. Random question for you guys to ponder. As mostly DD guys yourself, which is basically us, if it meant they made franchise better by spending resources and time SES would normally on DD, would you take 1 year of copy and paste DD experience for them to work on franchise for an entire year? It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. Hang on, let me read this again. As mostly DD guys yourself, if they made the franchise better by spending the resources and time SDS would normally on DD, would you take 1 year of a copy and paste? Um, at the end of the day, I would would like if they I think they can always change around like content and stuff, but if it came to um of like everything was structurally the same and everything like that, I would gladly take that if it meant that franchise was going to get the facelift that it so desperately needs. I mean, I said it in the last episode of the podcast. Imagine if Diamond Dynasty didn't get changed for 4 to 5 years and we were still playing the bare bones MLB 16. That's basically what's going on with the franchise community right now. Obviously, Diamond Dynasty will bring in more continuous revenue for them throughout the year. You know, like franchise can only do so much after somebody buys the $60 game. But yeah, I mean, if as long as Diamond Dynasty doesn't take a step back, I'm 100% in on them spending time and resources for franchise to elevate, because I think if that mode elevates, the rest of the game also elevates. That could also translate into Road to the Show and March to October experiences. So yeah, I'm with that as long as Diamond Dynasty doesn't take a step back.
I agree. And I wanted to mention that question is because that I mean, first off, the responses were really like 80% franchise. And that question kind of puts it more into perspective and how glaring it feels for a franchise player. Feels like nothing's happening for them. Like we're not getting these crazy updates. Everything's going DD because that's where everything gets monetized, and they kind of go into that spiral of talking about this type of stuff and how much you see the passion throughout. And we discussed this last week. You just see the passion that these guys have, especially when putting in the work, like since there's no year saves anymore, whether it's for the roster or the stadium, and just do it all over again. It is tough for them, and I see why. But yeah, I just want to bring that question to the podcast because it just puts everything kind of more in perspective. And I'm with you, Cougs. If DD doesn't take a step back, and we pretty much had what we had this year, but maybe they switch out a little bit of stuff, like with the same type of series concepts and everything, I'll be fine with that. Be completely fine with that. So
yeah, I think a lot of people would.
But once again, I appreciate everyone responding to that tweet because, like I said, I didn't think we'll be here on hour 11 minutes into the podcast still going. Hey, it's funny because when we were texting, I think over the weekend, I was like, all right, we got this. Would that be enough for like 45 minutes to like anything? And look where we
Here
are
we
right
are.
now, like a half hour later. It just shows how much we can talk about MLB The Show regardless of what the news we get. But maybe next week we do get news here, Cougs. Maybe we get the stream schedule. Maybe we get the videos like we discussed. Maybe we get information about maybe there's a tech test or not. We'll be talking about that a lot more next week when we get back at it. Remember, every Tuesday, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, this episode will drop. A new episode will drop. So be on the lookout for that. If you're not subbed on your YouTube, make sure to sub on your YouTube Inside the Show. We've been putting a lot more stuff on that, so hope you guys been enjoying that. Cougs, I think that's it for us today.
I think that's it. I think we covered a lot.
One unexpected, but really good, solid episode, I thought. So, hope you guys enjoyed listening today. And yeah, that'll do it for us. Make sure to follow my boy Cougs at Cougs46 on Twitter. You find all those socials over there. I'm at Scuffy McGee TV. We'll catch you guys next time on next week with Inside the Show. I just watched this intro for the first time this year. See you later.
Peace.